live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Mick Strawn.
And this is episode 87. Ant-Man and the Wasp. As Scott Lang balances being both a superhero and a father, Hope Van Dyne and Dr. Hank Pym present an urgent new mission that finds an Ant-Man fighting alongside the Wasp to uncover the secrets from their past. I made that sound boring, but it really wasn't too boring.
It was a pretty good film. I
liked it.
It was a pretty good film. I have to say that the chemistry between the two was better than normal.
You're talking about Michael Douglas and Paul Rudd?
No.
There was some chemistry there.
No. Paul Rudd. What's her name? Paul Rudd and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's her name.
And blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly.
Yes.
Yeah. There
was chemistry all around. Michael Pena and Paul Rudd are always good together.
Yeah, well, Michael Pena. Michael Pena's hilarious. The other guy that I liked, Walton Goggles. He was the bad guy in Justified. This guy, the guy that played Sonny Birch.
Yes,
he was the bad guy in
he was pretty awesome, actually.
And he is awesome. He is really, really watchable.
I was trying to find the other guy, David. That guy. I liked his character.
Oh, yeah?
David Dasmalishin. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm totally ruining it.
He was one of Pena's partners, right?
Yes, and I wrote down two things or a couple things. I just want to get to the problems out of the way.
Problems.
I do want to mention that there was a stunt person named Buddy Love, and I just thought that was great.
Well, there you go.
I saw that in the credits. I just had to mention it.
Buddy Love.
Anyway,
yes.
The building was just stupid. I mean,
yeah, the building and what you could do with it, and that,
not to ruin anything.
Yeah, no. It was difficult. That was
the only thing I kept thinking about.
Right.
But I love I won't get to the stuff I like.
But you're going to say the cars you loved because they did some great.
Yeah, they're like little Matchbox cars. And they were awesome. They were like souped up Matchbox cars. And the knife and the Pez dispenser. Those two shots, I really like those.
Right.
And Stan Lee had the best line out of any movie he's ever done.
Who?
Stan Lee.
Yes. it was one of his best.
Yes.
And he didn't.
He's getting better.
Yeah, he is. So acting in 10-second increments for as many times as he has. By the way, I thought about something here. I know a film that is a
shark movie?
Marvel film.
Oh, a Marvel film. I'm thinking about shark movies. Sorry.
A Marvel film that he did not show up as a cameo. And it was the Fantastic Four movie that I did.
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah, so that's Didn't think about that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Well,
and wouldn't the lady who went in a certain place for 30 years, wouldn't she kind of be bat crazy by the time she got out?
Well, you don't know that she isn't.
That's true. That's true.
You didn't see that much, Michelle Pfeiffer's thing, right? Right. No, you don't know. You don't know. As my wife and I say to each other all the time, you don't know. You just don't know. You think you know? You don't know. Not even a clue.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was a little snackish.
What do you mean by snackish? Like light fare, kind of?
Yeah.
Wasn't heavy enough?
Well, it's not that it wasn't heavy enough. It's just that the first one, it's just an extension perfectly of the first one, right? Whereas Deadpool, I mean, every Marvel film seems to be in a particular group, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, a group of that's kind of like them, right? And I kind of put Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy and What's the other one? Where's my brain going? Yeah,
I don't know. I
kind
just
of
saw
the
it fly away.
kind of the light comedy ones.
What would you think that
Deadpool. Deadpool kind of got serious. I kind of like lumped them together, and I think that to a certain respect, for my personality, I like that kind of world of Marvel best. I just don't think that this was better than the first one.
And then somehow they're related to the Captain America and the Avengers indirectly.
Yeah, very indirectly.
And
yeah,
this
yeah.
one had a lot of references to Captain America and the Avengers.
Right.
I mean, for a good reason.
Yeah, for a good reason. And there's a tie-in. There's another tie-in that we don't want to talk about.
Right. Yeah.
But I have to say, I enjoyed the first one a lot.
Yes.
I really did. I'm not as in love with this one.
Yeah, I feel the same way about this one.
You know,
The first one was, the first one was unique because it was the first time Ant-Man had ever really been seen by a lot of people.
Right,
in fact,
right.
I forgot who he was.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. I love Paul Rudd. I mean,
Paul Rudd's what makes
Rudd,
the character.
You know, let's face it.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd could just sit there and stare at us. And
He's good at everything.
I would go watch it. But and I'm not saying that anything was bad, because I think the cast of this was fabulous all the way down. It's just that
even the little girl was great.
even the little girl was really good.
Yeah.
Even the other little girl was really good.
Usually there's one child actor that's not great.
Yeah, that's just
and the bad guys can always
stop
there's
picking
always
your
a lame
nose. Stop picking your nose.
right.
One of them's like, action. Well, I stop picking your nose. Damn it.
There's always one bad guy like that too.
Right, exactly.
That's related to the producer or something.
Exactly, you know. It's
Like a sheriff
friend
or
of
something.
the producer.
Yeah.
FOPs, we used to call them. Fops. Be careful of a fop.
So I thought the story was kind of boring, but I mean,
yeah,
the story
was kind of boring.
If you just read it would be boring, but I think that just watching Paul Rudd, he has a lot of charisma.
Yeah.
And just like you said, there's a lot of chemistry between the actors, and I don't know. I thought it was fun to watch. I like a lot of the action scenes, especially the chase scenes.
Yeah.
With the small, big, small, big.
And I guess that's what it was. Is there were a lot of little scenes that I loved that I thought were great gags.
Yes.
I just don't think that they just didn't build a movie for me.
A lot of gags. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But then I kept thinking about the building.
Right. That's
I was like, really?
really suitcase building. Really.
And you could tell it was made of plastic.
Yeah.
When they were carrying it around.
Yeah. Yeah. You could.
So anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. And didn't you have to ask yourselves as it's thrown in and out of vans and bounces on the road and all the rest of that. Doesn't that have something to do with the stuff that's inside of it? Doesn't it ever get damaged? Does it?
You gotta wonder what's rolling around inside the building. Yeah.
Right. The thing is when it expands again, you go, do you call the maid? You say, well, we're going to need a cleanup here, and we'll be done in 10 minutes. Yeah, you can have the building back and give us 45 minutes, just to sweep up the glassware. Okay.
It's magnets.
Yeah. Right.
Magnets.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Magnets?
Everything's made of titanium. I don't know. Stretchable titanium.
Yeah, stretchable things?
I don't know.
Stretchable things?
Well, I don't know anything about quantum physics.
See, now you're just blowing the whole thing. See, so so that was my wonder. I was right there with you on that. Also, if Paul Rudd was supposed to be 65, and you know what? This is stupid. Stupid things that you think about, right?
I know where you go with that, yeah.
Do you know where I'm going with this? If he's 65 feet high,
right,
and he's next to a boat,
yes,
that's in the middle of the channel, and he's, honest to God, we see half of him, right?
Yeah,
we're seeing half of him.
Wasn't he 85 feet at that point though? Not to nitpick, but I think you're talking about when he was 85 feet tall,
right?
Right. He was too big.
No, he wasn't too big. He wasn't big enough because that's a channel.
Yes.
How deep is it? the New York Harbor
Right.
has got to be pretty big
Well, he was in
because
San
it has
Francisco.
very.
How deep is that?
Oh,
The
okay.
bay.
Well,
I don't know how
it's
deep
San
the bay
Francisco.
is.
I'm sorry.
They're looking for whales.
Just-
But I was like, I don't know how deep it is, so I can't really, I don't know.
How deep is the bay?
The bay is, 43 feet. So that could be pretty accurate.
Wow, that is. It does turn out to be accurate.
The deepest point is, well, it was kind of off
Well,
the shore.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. Okay.
I guess I did a little research there.
Okay. Maybe they did. Maybe you could stand there.
But it says the northern and southern area has an average of 15 to 17. So maybe it would have been like knee high.
Yeah, knee high. Okay. Yeah. That. Yeah. See.
Well, I get your point though, because there's certain things certain scenes where things weren't exactly proportional.
Relational.
Yeah, relational. That's a better
Relational.
word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, you overlook that kind of. Have you ever watched any of those things from the 50s where they shrunk people?
Oh yeah.
Everything was kind of off.
Incredible shrinking woman.
Yes, I'm thinking even earlier.
Oh, earlier than that.
I'm trying to think of something. I remember people sitting on thimbles and stuff, and there was black and white, and it was sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
I can't place the name of the.
Really old and classic. Yeah.
But yeah, I used to watch that when I was a little kid. And I was mesmerized by it. But things didn't make sense sometimes. Like
Yeah. Well.
matches were way too big, for example. They're using was torches, or too small. I don't know. Anyway, I'll think of it. So yeah, we don't have much to say about this. 'Cause
Yeah, we
it.
don't. But well, we did like it. But I didn't like it immensely. You know, I mean, but I did like it. You know what? It was really good. I think that the story just could have been.
I think I liked the second Deadpool so much more than the first one.
The second Deadpool was amazing.
Yeah. So this one is like not as good as the first one, first Ant-Man.
Right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is
But isn't
my
that kind of the thing though?
expectations-
Isn't that kind of the thing? Like when you add like Batman and Robin.
Right.
Wasn't that terrible
Really
compared
awful.
to Batman
Awful. Yeah. Well.
by himself? I don't know. Unless you're talking about the 1960s Batman, now that was great.
That was the best.
Right.
Woof. Bam. Kapow.
And you gotta have the one-liners too.
Yeah.
Well, there's some one-liners in this one.
No, there was. No. I
don't know. So I don't have much to say.
This film, like I said, this film had a lot
I thought the effects were pretty
elements.
good, and I usually don't like a lot of digital stuff.
Right.
but
And
this had some really good stuff.
You and I both don't like a lot of digital stuff, and they did it well. I kind of had a little bit of a problem with the Pez dispenser and the salt shaker.
Yes. Those are great gags. Though.
Sure, they were great gags. I just don't think that the Pez dispenser, when it got big, it didn't.
And we can talk about these because they were in the trailer.
Yeah, no.
So the knife running along the knife, that was my favorite
good.
shot.
Now that was good because that was a great interaction between it.
That was my favorite shot for that reason.
Yeah, and you know, and the thing that's funny about it is the knife was not particularly well done. I mean, but the action that was tied to it was excellent. And that's the difference of the Pez dispenser is you're looking at that Pez dispenser and it doesn't hold up at all. And it knocks the guy off the bike and there was a little, boy, am I getting picky or what? But I'm just saying.
That's okay.
It's okay. I think I've told you the story about carving the ant, right?
Yeah. Right. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was what became Honey, They Shrunk the Kids.
Right. Teeny weenies.
Teeny weenies.
Teeny weenies.
Yes.
Right. Going down.
And it was
the
not
road.
a porn film. It was just teeny weenies.
It was teeny weenies.
Story time. Story time. It's story time with Mick. 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 Story time with Mick.
I remember I once did this carved a giant head. I didn't do it myself. I had it carved of Einstein's giant head, and Einstein's giant head. The guy who was carving it wound up to not be very good, and so then it didn't look like Einstein. It kind of kind of looked like a bear, and
Oh, jeez.
and so then I had to hire somebody to come in and recarve it, and Einstein was getting smaller and smaller and smaller because I'd spent a fortune on the foam, and finally I get out and I go, well, fine, now you've got Einstein, but Einstein is now pocket Einstein. I mean, it had gone from like being a 4 foot by 6 foot by 4 foot block, right? And by the time the second guy got done with it, it was the size of a suitcase, and so we're starting again. So finally I said, well, I can't have that. I mean, and the thing is just as sure as there's this like fate, when fate is like spelled with a capital F, and there are times where the word fate and it is a 4-letter word starting with F and spelled differently than fate, but it still means the same thing.
Yeah.
So as sure as I then had to start from scratch and hire buy a whole new huge block of Flores foam, which wasn't cheap, right? And I knew all the time that I was like trying to going towards my doom, because in the script it wrote that, and this was Revenge of the Nerds 3. Okay. And in the script it specifically said that one of the things that they had in the living room of their dorm was this enormous, head of Einstein, which sounds about right, except for my intrinsic problem with it happened to be that as soon as you put something that enormous in the middle, where do you put it in the middle of the room, that you got to, you have to make it a feature, or you have to completely ignore it. There isn't a halfway thing, because it hits you that there's an enormous head of Einstein there, right?
Right.
And so I'm going through all this trouble, and it's in the script. And when the director gets it, the director has this way of, he didn't understand 3 dimensions in front of a camera. And so you would come in and you would be careful to place, you would look at what the blocking of the scene should be. Now, he wasn't a very clever, he wasn't a good director. he was a bad director. And basically what he did is he put kind of everybody up against the wall and had them speak to each other, right? And you would come into a room, I'm not kidding, the guy shot a buffet like that, right? And I said, well, intrinsically, don't you have the problem that when you shoot a buffet, that you need to shoot across the buffet at the people that are serving themselves? And he says, no, I like things against the wall. And so we then had to put the buffet against the wall. And of course, the problem with that. The problem with that is then everybody is not facing the camera when they're going down the line of the buffet, and they're trying to, I mean, it's a dumb mistake, And the thing is he kept making that mistake. And this head that wound up just costing me more and more and more money, he gets in there and finally so he keeps experimenting with putting it like in between all of them in the room, and then shoot it, and eventually we threw it off the set, and we didn't use it. And I think it represented by this point, I think it was represented probably $3,000.
Oh my God.
Or something like that. And
he wasn't smart enough to put it like in the middle of a room and then have a camera behind it that would pan up or something.
Right. No, I mean, he just didn't understand it. I mean, he really didn't understand space. The third dimension was
So when the director of photography have to say, I have an idea, or is that not allowed?
I don't think he cared. He really just didn't care. You know, it's funny. You get on films like that. I have to tell you though, David Carradine, not David Carradine. It wasn't David. It was Robert.
Carradine.
Robert Carradine. Okay, Robert is the sweetest guy in the world, and he loves old cop cars. And he came to set, and we're like up. We're up in Valencia. You know, and like, it's an area that has like all these old old fire trail roads, and so I go out and I say, hey, that's a cool car, because basically what he did is he had like that Dodge Monaco the police model, right? You know, and he'd bought it and had it redone one into the other and just painted it like pure black, and it was the police cruiser, and he had the racks and everything, and the pin in the back, and he loved to just go cruising in this thing, and we would at lunch when we were shooting, you know, we would go rocking down the fire trails, and I remember he got pulled over once, and he just smiled at the cop, and the cop goes, "Oh God, you're Robert Carradine." You know, he was just the sweetest guy in the world, and which is good because the director was kind of a complete dick.
Really?
You know, yeah.
Roland Mesa.
Yeah, Roland Mesa. Oh yeah. You know, I'm really super curious as to what he went on to do, because honest to God, I don't think it's much.
Oh, he did some Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, look at that.
Wow. See, crap. I'm telling you. See what I mean?
Wow.
This was this was a high quality director.
Well, he started producing later on, looks like.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's good. If you can't do, produce.
Right. It's kind of like if, what's the other thing? If you can't do, teach, or something like that.
Right. Yeah. If you can't, yeah, exactly.
Poor
if you can't
Roland.
do, teach. If you can do. If you can't do. If you can't do, teach. If you can't teach PE.
Well, see, I want to do something and then teach it later.
Right.
When I don't want to do it anymore.
I've thought a bit about this lately. I've had a lot of people that have been saying that I have to start a movie school.
You should.
Yeah.
Because you don't. It's not that you can't do it. You just don't want to.
No, you're absolutely true.
Like talking about it, so why not teach it?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So
I'll be your marketing director.
So what did you what did you think of the movie? I know we've gotten way off track.
Oh.
I had an idea. A foreign accent. Yeah?
Okay, let me do my best. What language would you like?
I don't know. I have no foreign accent. I am probably as foreign as I can get. Oh, in listening to this, I think to myself, how bourgeois this whole film was. It reminded me of nothing. That's what it is. It's existential. It reminds me of nothing. I think I'm going to give it a 3.2.
Translation.
En écoutant ça, je pense combien bourgeois tout ce film a été bourgeonné. C'était ça, ça ne me rappelait rien de ce qui est ce que c'est sans son existentiel. Ça me rappelle rien et un jeu. Pense que je vais le donner à 3.2. Ah.
I didn't know we're actually trying to do accents, so I can't do a Portuguese accent.
Okay, well, there you go.
I would do a.
That's not Portuguese, is it?
I would rate this one
I sound like a Igor. or
Yeah,
something.
I was gonna say like
Hey,
a
master, I would rate this film 3 point. I think I give it a little bit more than you because I like some of the special effects more. I give it a 3.3.
Translation.
O Master, eu classificaria este filme 3 ponto. Eu acho que daria um pouco mais do que você porque eu gosto de alguns dos efeitos especiais, mas eu dou-lhe 3,3.
That's my Igor accent.
there you go.
Yeah. Wasn't that amazing?
Ah, there you go. There you go. So, wow, we just destroyed this thing.
Yes, that was interesting.
That was interesting.
That's like when I told my
Yeah.
wife when she made me try yoga.
Yeah.
And the person teaching the class turned to me and said, "What do you think?" It was interesting.
It was interesting.
She's like, "Yeah, I'll never see you again, will I?" I'm like, "Probably not."
No, you really
No.
won't. Okay.
The person next to me
So-
farting constantly did not help the situation. But anyway,
What did you think of what did you think of this episode?
it was amazing. Amazing.
This episode?
I think it was actually not interesting. It was actually pretty amazing.
It was amazing.
Sometimes
It
we
was
amaze
amazing.
ourselves.
Oh, you know, you're amazing.
Well, we're probably our best listeners.
Yeah, we are. And actually, if you check the numbers, that's really quite true.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, we better kill this quick.
I do want to thank our listener Bill for commenting on our Electric Dreams episode.
Oh, did we get a comment?
He agreed with it with us.
Oh, that's right. He did
Yeah.
agree.
I mean, we
Well,
like people who agree, so
That's good.
Thank
so,
you.
know, so eventually, do you think that we'll actually be able to support a viewer mail,
Whoa. We can read stuff
Whoa.
on the mail?
listener mail?
Like a kind of a Svengoolie type
Yeah.
thing?
You know what what's the one thing that we're lacking?
Rubber
in
chickens?
that?
Oh, I'm
No.
thinking of Svengoolie, sorry.
No, mail.
Mail, yes.
Yeah.
Well, or just followers.
Yeah,
Just,
or followers
Or
mail.
nudge. What do they call them on Facebook now? It's not a pokes anymore.
What are they calling it these days? What are the kids calling it these days? Is that what he's...
Obviously, I don't go to Facebook.
Man, this is so off the rails. We have to kill this
yes,
now.
let's kill it now. The train is coming. This is Kurt Thomas along with Mick Strawn. Thank you for listening to the Dream Warrior Review. If you have any questions or just have feedback for our show, we welcome them at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com. Of course, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter as well. As always, please follow us and tell your friends about us too. See you next time.